The next rationalist philosopher we're going to discuss is René Descartes. René Descartes was a 17th century philosopher that lived in a rather tumultuous time for science. Descartes was born in 1596. He died in 1650. So I want you to consider a little over 100 years prior to Descartes' birth, so in the range of 1490 to 1495, what big discovery was made? Hopefully, you have said Columbus found, quote unquote, the New World, right? He sailed west from Europe and landed in what he thought was India, which of course wasn't. It was like Puerto Rico or something like that. But he returns in 1493 to say, hey, guess what? The world is in fact round. So now we're dispelling the myth that the world is flat. Well, fast forward about 40 or 50 years, and we've got Copernicus, who says, guess what? The sun does not move around the earth moves around the sun. Now, was theory. Okay, Copernicus did not have proof. Copernicus believed in the heliocentric universe, but had only theory for it. He was so concerned about it, he wouldn't even let it be published in his lifetime. There's a story that the very first published copy of his writings was placed on his chest as he died. I don't know if it's true. But he was very concerned about the repercussions of this, and he had reason to be, because 100 years later, in 1633, Galileo was excommunicated for claiming to have found proof of the heliocentric universe. What we're discovering in all of this is that science is being turned on its head. In this 150 years, the world is round, not flat. Not only that, but the world moves and the sun stays still. And so in 1641, René Descartes published his Meditations on First Philosophy. Descartes wanted to know what could be trusted. He wanted certainty from the sciences, and he wasn't getting it. So he had to find what was certain. To do this, he started with doubt. He said that first and foremost, he must have absolute certainty. Descartes believed that it was imperative that he have 100% certainty. He needed to be absolutely positively certain beyond any doubt whatsoever. Not just reasonable, but any doubt whatsoever. And the bottom line is, his senses can't give that to him. His senses have deceived him in the past. And so they cannot give him certainty now. Think about it. You're walking across the quad and you hear somebody yell your name. You turn around, nobody's there, but you could have sworn you heard somebody say your name. If you're from this general geographic region, you're probably familiar with the phenomenon of black ice. You're driving down the road, your senses tell you everything's fine. The next thing you know, you're spinning out and you've ended up in a ditch. Your senses deceived you, Descartes says. Your senses have deceived you, and you cannot trust them with complete confidence in the future. After all, if you have a friend who's lied to you in the past, Do you trust everything your friend says to you from now on? Of course not. His senses have deceived him in the past. He cannot be absolutely certain of them in the future. Well, his senses are the main source of pretty much all of his beliefs. Between his senses deceiving him and he could be dreaming, he says, I can't be certain of much of anything. He says, I dream that I'm sitting next to the fire writing, but in fact, while I feel confident, it feels real to me, I'm actually in my bed asleep. My senses just don't provide reliable information. Except he says, even in my dreams, 2 + 2 = 4, and triangles have 3 sides. So he says, even in my dreams, basic mathematical truths are there. I can trust those. Except, he says, an evil genius could be deceiving me. He says, an evil genius could be deceiving me into believing even the most basic things, like 2 + 2 = 4, and triangles have 3 sides. I want you to notice, he doesn't say his senses are deceiving him now. He's not saying an evil genius is deceiving him now. He's saying, I don't know if they are. I don't know if my senses are deceiving me. I don't know if an evil genius is deceiving me. And because I don't know that, I can't be certain of anything. I can't be certain of anything. Now, Descartes' meditations on first philosophy consisted of 6 meditations. This is the end of the first meditation. Okay? The first meditation. And it is the theory of, we just learned from our terms, skepticism. Okay? So at the end of the first meditation, he lands in skepticism, that extreme form of skepticism where he can't be certain of anything. And it's going to be his job in the 2nd through the 6th meditations to determine if there is anything he can be certain of, to regain certainty and knowledge of the world.